Champions Cup, folks. Bonkers. Ulster up against Exeter, 52 points to 24. Cormac Izichukwu getting a hat-trick. Who picked that? A prop getting man of the match without getting any tries. Crazy stuff. Ulster outscoring an opponent handily in the second half. Crazy. Great start to my weekend. Loads of tries. Bit of a lopsided second half, but certainly some cracking highlight-worthy ones. If you haven't seen any of this game, multiple tries, well highlight worthy. We'll go through some of the key events and the stats, and you guys let us know your thoughts. But a good crowd there in Belfast, because this game, in the final round of the group stage, with both these teams coming into this one in poor form, no points on the board from either side, and that there's still a really good crowd there who were very vocal, which is really pleasing to see, and they got some good entertainment value. That being said, you could have forgiven a few people for regretting their choice to go to this game if they're an Ulster supporter. There's a few Exeter fans in the crowd, I noticed as well, but Exeter started with a proper hiss and a roar. First try through Bampo. He is a excitement machine player in what's been some pretty tough weeks of watching for Exeter, but he gets the first try within 2 minutes. Turnover ball, Exeter punish, some proper champagne rugby, 7 points to 0. And then Ulster lost Werner Koch to a HIA as well, which was unfortunate because in some tough weeks, he's looked like at least one of their kind of positive news stories with that relentless work rate of his. But he goes off, and there's Ross Vincent. Highlight-worthy try, a loose forward, pick and go, 3/4 of the field. I don't know if he gets a hand laid on him. Unbelievable pace for a loose forward to just not get stopped by anybody. Ulster will be a little bit disappointed with the defending, but geez, the guy's quick. So crazy stuff, 12 points to 0 lead for Exeter to start. But Ulster, I feel like, did pretty well just to kind of slow things down a bit because the game was threatening to get away from them. And they kind of reverted to type a little bit, which is good. It's not a bad thing. Get some territory from a penalty, get themselves down, Exeter's 22, work through those phases, relentless, and you can feel it coming. Cormac Izichukwu gets his first 3 tries from close range, 7 points to 12. That's starting to look a little bit healthier for the Exeter lads. And then Ulster are able to get a second one not too long later. This one's through Dave McCann. Again, they get advantage. They're making the most of some territory down Exeter's end. It's a close range finish. He gets 2 tries as well. So the loose forwards from Ulster doing a good job. 12 points apiece with that try. And then the flurry continues because Exeter retake the lead through Tuima. He's got a kind of close range pick and go from his own bit of the go gadget arms to reach out for the line when they finally got some territory down Ulster's end. And then both sides have had issues with the ball falling off the tee when trying to line up conversions, so that didn't help Exeter's attempt to put it as a 7-pointer. It ends up only being 5, 17 points to 12. And then Nick Timoney, who's not been picked for Ireland, but has looked pretty outstanding from the Ulster games that I've been watching as well. He gets himself on the board as well. He busts a tackle, goes for the line, and also has the gas to go over. So 2 tries in 2 weeks for him. 17 points apiece. We're all tied up. It's a pretty bonkers first half. As I mentioned, the crowd seems to be getting well into it, whether the away fans or the home fans. There was almost another from Ulster right before half-time, but Lowry couldn't quite kind of pick up a ball one-handed as he was going towards their Exeter line. But crazy first half. The position and territory are pretty tight. Exeter's had more run meters, but Ross Vincent clocked through a lot of those. Clean breaks is 5-3 to the Exeter guys. Penalty count is only 4-1. Really low penalty count, I feel like, is what helps this game. Feel like it was pretty free-flowing because we didn't have that many stoppages. Second half starts and Ulster's scrum certainly starts getting themselves on top, which is such a key weapon. They get a scrum penalty, they go for touch, they maul it, and then even Mikey Lowry's getting into the maul. You love to see that. So Rob Herring gets himself on the board as the forwards continue to clock up some more tries, 24 points to 17. It is kind of comical seeing Mikey Lowry in a maul because he's not the biggest dude, but you can again chuck that on the highlight reel because it's not something you see every day. Exeter threw a load of phases back at Ulster, but I thought Ulster's defence did pretty well, which is maybe kind of one of the key differences in the second half as they were able to shut down those Exeter chances in the second half. And then more scrum dominance, more territory, more phases. Cooney to Izichukwu. Izichukwu gets his second on 66 minutes. Now you feel like at 31-17, the Ulster boys are really just going to try and chase the points difference to get it as high as they can, to put themselves in as good a position as they can to possibly sneak through to the next round of the Champions Cup. Ben Carson got maybe the try of the game. Again, Ulster from their own half. The offload game is pretty sweet. Lowry to Carson is the kind of final pass, which is pretty nice, but there's a nice offload before that. Again, bloody highlight worthy. 38-17. Ulster got all the momentum. McCann gets another after one of the props had gone bloody close, and then they spun it wide to McCann out on the wing. He finishes that one, and Cooney's kicking all the conversions. The crowd is chanting Cooney every time he slots one, which is just getting me on the edge of my seat as the show keeps going on. 45-17, and then Izichukwu gets his hat trick like a minute after they've named Scott Wilson man of the match. I think if they name man of the match a minute later, Izichukwu gets it for sure. But I love seeing a prop get man of the match because it doesn't happen that often. But yeah, 52-17 with that really nice line-out move leading to the Izichukwu try. He's looking in good form, isn't he? Putting his hand up for a starting spot with that Ireland side. I know it's hard because the line-up's got a few veterans in it, but he's certainly playing good rugby. Sadly, from an Ulster point of view, but nice for Exeter. They get one last try through Wimbush with a little bit of kind of just soft play from Ulster, turnover ball, maybe a little bit too casual, but at least Exeter get a bonus point out of this game because, as I said, all the games thus far they'd come away with nothing on the log, so they do get at least 1 point as they bow out. But yeah, 35-7 in the second half. That's got to be encouraging for Ulster, seeing as their second half performances in recent times have been pretty dire. Possession finishes 56-44. Second half was 63-37 to Ulster, so they really bossed it. At times you felt like the Exeter guys were just giving up a little bit, but you can't blame them. Run meters 405 to 326, so Ulster turn a deficit in the first half to a positive in the second. Clean breaks finishes 6 apiece. Defenders beaten 20-16 Ulster. Penalty count was only like 8 for the game, so it was really, that's maybe why it just felt so free-flowing. It was just fun to watch from start to finish. The offloading was 13-6 with Ulster chucking it around a lot more. They were really, really fun to watch. Carson finishes 99 metres, 3 clean breaks. Vincent finished with 79 metres and 4 defenders beaten. He had a heap of carries and also a heap of tackles. Made 25. Timony beat 4 defenders. Izichukwu had 4 offloads to go with his 3 tries. Very fun stuff. Great way to start my day. What did you guys reckon about the game? If you're an Ulster fan, you'll be keeping an eye on the other results to see how your boys go. But ultimately, you'll just be loving to see you guys have a good run out. Not so much for Exeter, but they at least contributed to some pretty fun rugby in the scheme of things. So you guys let us know your thoughts on the game, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Ta-ra.